Honorable Dr. M. Veerappa Moily, Minister of Law and Justice, Union of India. Dr. Ashok K. Chavan, Founder President of Amity Group of Universities and Patron-in-Chief of this Congress. Honorable Justice K.N. Singh, Shri Atul Chauhan, Chancellor of Amity University, Major General Shri K. Jai Singh, Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Dr. T. Sanchez, President of INPAM, Professor P.K. Chattopadhyay, Chairman of this Congress, Dr. Dalbir Singh, the Secretary General of Organizing Committee, speakers, delegates, and students. I welcome you all to India, the biggest democracy and oldest surviving civilization. Mrs. Hillary Clinton once quoted Mark Twain, quote, "India is the cradle of human race, the birthplace of human speech, the mother of history, the grandmother of legend, and the great-grandmother of tradition," unquote. She further added, quote, "And I love the fact that it's mothers." President Obama, quoting Max Muller on India, quote, "Whatever sphere of the human mind you may select for your special study, whether it is the language or religion or mythology or philosophy, whether it be law or customs, art or science, you have to go to India," unquote. Because he said, again quote, "Some of the most valuable and instructive material of the history of the man are treasured up in India and India only." During the last 5,000 years of the history of this subcontinent, all the races of the world, Caucasian, the Indo-European, Africana, Mongoloids, Dravidian, and various Australoid groups came to the subcontinent. They got assimilated and uniformly tanned by the sun, creating a civilization of tolerance, absorbance, universal oneness, and non-violence. Michael Wood rightly said or named it as an empire of split. I represent the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, the biggest medical institution with trinity of mission, that is patient care, medical education, and research in this country. It is 3,000 bedded hospital, super specialty hospital, providing treatment at the cost of less than $1 per day, having 52 medical disciplines and 78 specialty clinics. There are 50,000 footfall per day in my institute. About 1,500 students pursue training in various specialties and super specialties of medical sciences. We are publishing nearly 2/3 indexed scientific papers of the country and have 15,000 employees. I am heading the Department of Forensic Medicine, which is running MD and PhD program, having facilities of DNA fingerprinting and analytical toxicology. There are 2 mortuaries wherein we conduct about 3,000 postmortems per year. This department provides clinical forensic medicine services, and we deal with about 100 to 150 medico-legal situations per day. We dispose of nearly 2,200 summons per year received from various parts of country. The postgraduate students produced by this department are working throughout country and abroad at faculty positions. Many of them have attained the positions of directors, rectors of universities, principals, medical superintendents, and director professors. And surprisingly, many of them have retired or superannuated before my own superannuation. India is a unique country where every doctor is supposed to carry out medico-legal responsibilities. About 70% of the workload, including postmortem examinations, are carried out at rural health centers. Therefore, forensic medicine and toxicology is an essential part of undergraduate curriculum which requires being qualified in second MBBS. Hence, every medical college has to have a department of forensic medicine with the faculty and residents proportionate to the number of undergraduate students. Approximately 2 teachers for every 50 students. We have more than 300 medical colleges in the country, and more than 1,000 faculty members are available at any given time. We have more than 30 forensic science laboratories having disciplines like ballistics, biology, physics, photography, DNA fingerprinting, documentation, toxicology, dactylography, cyber crimes, etc., etc. Thus, large number of forensic medicine and science experts are available in this country, and we have our own national academies and societies. The human civilization took approximately 10,000 years to develop a society based on concepts of ethics, etiquette, morality, and law, to have a peaceful coexistence on the principles of compassion, equality, and right to happiness. But in the present times, we have taken simply 50 years to make all the ancient values irrelevant. I understand for the existence and sustenance of the human civilization, revival of these values is necessary, particularly in view of the unsustainable advancement of science and technology, whereby we are able to destroy this planet many times. We are able to modify or synthesize life, the knowledge capable of eradicating the life itself from this planet if not ethically restrained. Therefore, we have started this conference with the first session on health ethics under the guise of newly formed South Asian Association of Health Ethics at Dhaka, following a WHO meeting on ethics. Professor Salgado requested me to join IMPALMS, a multidisciplinary organization, way back in 1984. But perhaps it was to happen this time only, so I am here. I wish to express my sincere thanks to the administration of Amity University for getting me involved in this event. I am sure you all will enjoy the scientific deliberations and your stay here in Noida. Thanks for patient hearing. Thank you very much.